Hi guys, it's that one MLB guy. It's Thursday, June 2nd, 2011, and this is your weekly update. Like always, I'm going to be talking about a few topics. I have about 5 this week I'm going to be talking about, and some that I thought were pretty interesting, and some that, make you kind of wonder. Alright, the first one I'm going to talk about is Buster Posey and his injury, of how he broke his ankle. Now, the unfortunate thing for Posey is that he's not going to be back till the 2012 season, and he was leading in All-Star votes as the catcher for the NL, and it's really unfortunate to see an injury happen to a player of his caliber, because that kind of puts a little hamper in the Giants, I think. I mean, yeah, Eli Whiteside is going to be the backup catcher. I'm sorry, he's the backup catcher who's now the catcher for the Giants, and I'm not saying Whiteside can't get the job done, but currently with Pablo Sandoval out of the lineup, it does put a little bit of a dark cloud on the Giants. But Cody Ross is still there, Aubrey Huff, and you just hate to see somebody like Buster Posey, who is just kind of really starting their career, to get this kind of injury, because the way it's broken is they're going to have to put in 2 metal rods, and a lot of people say, well, they don't know if Posey will ever catch again, which would be really unfortunate to see, because Posey is such a good catcher. And I would say, well, you look at what Posey played in college. He played third base and shortstop. Well, if you're the Giants, I say, well, yeah, Miguel Tejada, he'll stay there. He'll stay here for this year, but I don't know if he's going to stay in San Francisco for the next year. So potentially your infield could be Brandon Belt or Aubrey Huff at first, Freddie Sanchez at second. You could put Posey at third, or put him or shortstop. I would say put him at shortstop maybe, and then put Pablo Sandoval at third base. Left field, you have Cody Ross or Pat Burrell, or you could put Cody Ross in right if Aubrey Huff isn't playing right, and then you have Andres Torres and Aaron Rowan in center, with the Whiteside catching. But yeah, it's really unfortunate for Buster Posey, and I hope he can make a speedy recovery from this, even though it's going to take him an entire year to rehabilitate. I just hope his process isn't as demanding as I think it will be. The second topic I'm on is what the Mets are planning to do with Jose Reyes and David Wright. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jose Reyes kind of wants really big money, kind of like Carl Crawfordish money from the Mets, and the Mets aren't really willing to give him that kind of money, and they're considering putting him on the trade block before July 31st. But even more, they're considering to put David Wright on the trade block. Now, as to why David Wright is on there, it also may be money as well. But it kind of is a hard hit for the Mets, because Jose Reyes and David Wright are pretty much their two biggest names in their entire franchise. I mean, you have Carlos Beltran, and you have Johan Santana, even though he's hurt, and R.A. Dickey. But you have two huge faces of that franchise, and considering trading them away is a huge thing. But when guys ask for money, like Reyes is, that they just can't afford, then yeah, I can see why you'd be wanting to get rid of them. And it would just be kind of a weird scenario to see Jose Reyes and David Wright in New York and on different teams. Moving on, one thing that makes me wonder is how long is Bartolo Colon going to keep pitching the way he is for the Yankees? Because a lot of people thought, in the offseason, the Yankees didn't get Cliff Lee. Alright, and who else are they going to get? So they pick up Bartolo Colon and Freddie Garcia. Bartolo Colon's 38. He's pitched with a ton of teams before. And people were kind of shaky, thinking, how's he going to pitch, And honestly, he hasn't done that bad. He's 3-3 with a 3.26 ERA, 62 strikeouts, and he just pitched that 4-hit shutout. And I kind of wonder how far he's going to go with this. I'm not doubting Bartolo Colon, saying he can't pitch, because he's old for a pitcher. But I mean, the pressure in New York, it makes you wonder how far he's really going to go. And I think Colon can keep this up. I think he might have an ERA over 4, but I think he'll have a winning record. Behind Sabathia, I think he's definitely the Yankees' second best pitcher. I mean, Nova's a bit shaky. Garcia's pretty decent, and Burnett, nobody really knows how well he's going to do. He pitched brilliantly today against Oakland, though, that 4-2 win. But yeah, I think Bartolo Colon is kind of isn't. It's not that he's lacking in the credit that he's been given, but I think it's more or less a lot of people didn't expect that to happen. They didn't expect Bartolo Colon to be, this great pitcher so far, even though it's the second day of June. I mean, we're still kind of early into the season, so we'll see how that fares out. Now for you San Francisco fans, going back to you again, Brian Stowe, the man who was beaten after the season opener by some Dodgers fans. Now, something I thought interesting about that was Barry Bonds said he would contribute to Stowe's family by putting Stowe's 2 children, paying for their college, and I thought that was really nice of Barry Bonds. He didn't have to do it. A very classy act by him, even though he's going through a lot of controversy right now about lying under oath to the government about using steroids or not using steroids and home run records and whatnot. And regardless what Bonds has done, it's a very nice act by him, very classy, and I do respect him for doing that because, like I said, it's not something he had to do. It's just, you hate to see that happen to somebody like how Stowe was beaten by 2 Dodger fans, and it's uncalled for, and I take my hat off to Barry Bonds for doing that. My last topic now is that of Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Sam Fuld. Now, Sam Fuld, yeah, he's kind of one of these names that you go, huh? Because, after the Rays lost everybody, they didn't know how they were going to fare in the East. They didn't know how they were going to replace these guys that they lost. But they had Matt Joyce in the outfield. They had B.J. Upton. But who were they going to put else out there? So why not Sam Fuld? Manny retired due to controversy. And so Sam Fuld's been batting .227. I mean, he's probably not going to be that high of a batter. He's not a huge power hitter. But the Sam Fuld has a lot of heart, though. He plays as hard as he can. He's been making spectacular defensive plays, and I just think Sam Fuld is a very nice fit for the Rays because while he may not end up being an everyday player later on in the season, I think right now Sam Fuld is exactly what the Rays need. Somebody who has that character, who has that heart to play. And it spreads to a lot of guys because the Rays aren't doing bad in the Central. And I mean, it's not the Central, the East. And I just think that guys like that will definitely help a team out, and we'll spread it around because they see, oh well, he's doing well, and why not feed off of that as well, so we can have this team be even better than it is. So I think Sam Fuld's been really good in the defensive area as well, and I just think that's going to pump up the Rays a lot. Alright guys, this has been episode 3 of MLB Recap, and we'll see you guys next week.